Fellas, remember the feeling that we had when those final seconds ticked up the scoreboard? Or before that, when we knew, without a shadow of a doubt, we had no opportunity to win that last game. Remember that feeling when you was a kid, when they picked someone else and you knew you were better. Remember that feeling as a young man when that girl, you should have been chosen, but she chose someone far less. Remember that feeling. Also, I want you to identify a person in your life that you love more than you. To me, that's my mama. I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to give my life. I'm willing to lay down my life. I'm willing to do what no one would ever expect someone to do for their mother. Who's that for you? Who's that for you? Who's that for you? Who's that for you?
My mom.
Who's that for you?
Mom.
Everybody got somebody in their mind. I want you to focus on that. And today, this one's for them. Because I found out with enough pressure applied, sometimes you quit on yourself. Sometimes you quit on the homie. But that person that you love, that you identify with, that have sacrificed, that has laid down their life, has done things that are unspeakable for you just to see another day. I want this one here for them. This one's for them. I'm not talking about the fans. I'm not talking about the student body. I'm not talking about the alumni. I'm not talking about the cheerleaders or the band, although they all are worthy. I'm talking about that person that you know darn well, without a shadow of a doubt, you'll lay it down for. So whenever it get tight on you, think about that person, Junior. Whenever it get tight on you, I want you to think about that person. Whenever it get tight on you out there today, think about that person. Because you ain't out there for you, you out there for them. And we're going to congratulate one another. We're not going to wait till we dominate to congratulate one another. We're going to congratulate them well before. Because I believe just that much in you, in the person next to you. So without a doubt, get that person in your mind and you think about it. Because today is for them. And I'd be darned if you're going to let them down. One of the best moments I had in a long time this morning. I was up by 7 o'clock. Woke up, made some coffee. I'm yelling in the room for my mama. She ain't got up yet. 8 o'clock, she ain't got up yet. 9 o'clock, she ain't got up yet. 11 o'clock, she just coming out the room. I said, well, what's wrong with you? She said, baby, I made it. I ain't got to do nothing. Because you made it that way. You made it possible that I ain't got to do nothing. I get up when I want to. I want you to have that feeling one day. And that feeling starts today. We got it?
Yes.
There's a sign behind you that says, I was called by God to make a difference. What does that mean as it relates to Jackson State?
That means I was called by God himself, not a man next to the man, but God himself, to come here and provoke change. And when I say change, I mean change. I mean come in one way and leave another. Change. I mean think one way and then think another. I mean change. Look one way and then look another. That's what I mean by change. Come in here flat like a dollar bill and come out 4 quarters. I mean change.
How do you make change?
Well, you got to be disruptive with a cause, with consistency, with a plan. People generally are not comfortable with change. Change just disrupts a whole lot of comfortability. And oftentimes, you got to be willing to be that guy, willing to risk it, willing to attempt it, willing to secure it to accomplish your goals. And I'm more than willing, and I'm more than able, and I'm more than capable.
What's the change you want to see?
Oh, where do I start? Brother, I could alliterate this thing and start with two. It's not just about winning. We gonna win. It's about making things better for everybody, not just Jackson State, Mississippi Valley State, Alcorn, Grambling, FAMU. I could keep going. For everybody. This ain't just about us. This is bigger than that.
See, people think it's just about
It ain't just
Jackson.
about, why would we? You think I just came? God just called me here to Jackson State to make a change? No. God called me to Jackson State, HBCU, SWAC, college football at this level, FCS, to make a change. This is way bigger than the natural eye could see and fathom.
This one is for you, Mom. Rest in paradise. Let's get it. If you're new to the Impact Secret Podcast Show, welcome to the family, to my existing family. Big up. As always, thank you for joining. On this podcast show, we shift the mindset through inspiration, motivation, with a standing foundation of self-discipline. I am your humble, no, your respectful host, ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, listen, that just simply means Ed. You know the motto, you know the slogan here. Bet on yourself. You won't win unless you get in the game and play. You know the quote that we're resonating with here at the show. You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. Bob Marley. Listen, if living means doing what you love to do, even if you have to fall to get back up. Again, living means doing what you love to do, even if you have to fall to get back up. As you always know what we do here, one question and two thought-provoking statements, but today I have a bonus question for you. So first question is this: who is the person you identify with for in your life that you love more than yourself? Again, who is the person you identify with more that you love more than yourself? And the second question is, what are you doing today to make you a better version tomorrow? What are you doing today to make you a better version tomorrow? And the first thought-provoking statement is you don't have permission to give up today. Again, you don't have the permission to give up today. And the last thought-provoking statement: don't forget why we came for. Don't forget what we came for. Again, don't forget what we came for. You know, when I pulled that clip on Deion Sanders, it was touching because I remember when I started this journey, and I kept asking myself, what am I doing this for? And that clip made it put in a reminder for me to understand that even though I don't want to be it, I am a disruptor. Even though I wasn't seeking to be it, I am a disruptor. Even though it gets hard sometimes wanting to give up and give in, I have to understand that my purpose is going to outweigh the emotions I have of not wanting to follow through. Matter of fact, I can recall the reason why I went to college and got these multiple degrees that I achieve. And I'm not saying that, as Les Brown would say, to impress you, but to impress upon you the fact that my mom she had to make a decision of going to college or going to work. And so she chose going to work, but her dream was to get a master's. Her dream was to be educated as far as from a university standpoint. Yet and still, with her having my brother, my sister, and myself, she had to make some adjustments and had to adapt to the environment. And then she got caught up in what we call working your 9 to 5. And then she got comfortable and she settled in. So she said it really wasn't any point. But my mom was a funny person, because one day I get a call and she said, "Hey, son, I'm having me a graduation party. Are you coming?" And I said, "Mom, what you graduating from?" She said, "Well, belongs to you. Low key, I've been working on I was working on getting my degree. So I thought to myself, I said, well, what degree was it? She went out and got her associate degree, and I was so proud of her because I know that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to go down that realm of academia. She had that gift of being a teacher, a professor, someone that was so prolific in the way she came across. I was like, man, this is amazing. She had the tassels in the car. That's how excited she was. So for me, when I started chasing the dream of going into college, it was just the fact because, number one, they told me I couldn't do it. Yes, I'm on my DJ Khaled stuff. They said I wasn't smart enough. They said that I couldn't do it. They said, why should we pick you to let you into our university? And I said, well, I don't know. But what I do know is that I have nothing to lose but everything to gain, and I'm coming for what I want. Now I do park there parenthetically to say this to you, family. I am not, as you know, since I've learned what I've learned through going to college and things of that nature, I understood that it wasn't about the college or the degrees. It was what I became. Because see, the education in college is cool, but it doesn't help. It wasn't helping me apply what was going on in the real world. But that's another topic, and we're going to do a whole series on education. So I'll get back to that. But what I loved about this clip was Deion Sanders was saying you need to find someone that will allow you to push yourself or to apply pressure to yourself even more than what you want to do. You have to find a reason. Eric Thomas calls it a why. Deion Sanders was talking about the pressure of not giving in and giving up and doing something outside of what you were called and meant to do. Who was that person for you, family? Who was that person that you love more than yourself, that you were willing to put not only your money, not only your materials, but your life on the line for? See, for me, that was my mother. I was willing and able to do it all. I remember when it was just her and there would be times where I wanted to go spend the night at friend's house and hang out, but I didn't want her home alone because of the neighborhood we were staying in at the time. So I said to myself, I can't go. And this was during a time when the back of the street of where we lived at, for some odd reason, our garage will always get shot up. That's a whole nother story. But the point I'm trying to make is, family, is that I didn't feel comfortable. So I had to she was making these sacrifices. So I can make some sacrifices of not being able to hang out with my friends or just have them come stay with me instead of always going out and staying with them. See, you have to understand. I like what Dr. Darius Daniels says. He says he was talking about rejection. And a lot of times, family, we don't give ourselves permission to be great. I'll say that again. We don't give ourselves permission to be great because we have a tendency, I'm guilty of it as well, that we look at our inadequacies instead of our opportunities, or better yet, let's unpack that. Let's just say we don't look at the potential that's what's inside of us. And sometimes it takes somebody saying, I see potential in you. However, you're going to have to do the work to bring it out of you. See, what Dr. Darius Daniels was saying, he said, rejection really could be direction. Ooh, that's powerful. See, a lot of times we will get rejected on our way of going after something, and we would think that, oh, well, this is not meant for us, and we don't have the talent or the gifts, or, we're putting in the hard work, but it's not happening. But yet this may be a direction. I know when I started this show, I started off talking about marketing. I started off talking about all these things, and I don't know how I got here on personal development. Yes, I was doing it in my my day to day, but it started translating and transitioning into this mic. And when I look back, I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop talking about wanting to be better. I couldn't stop talking about how do I get to greatness. I couldn't stop following and modeling after some people that really inspired me to be great. You see, when You look at your life, a lot of times we make, and I love this, and I forgot who said this, we have a tendency to make a permanent decision in a temporary space. You see, that job that we had that may have been taken away from us, we look at it and say, oh, this is, nothing is going to come out of this. And we go into a depression, or maybe, and I'm not speaking to all of you, I'm just speaking to some of you. This message is not for everyone. See, this message is for the ones that have been through something. As I told you before, I like to surround myself with people that been through something, because if you've never been through something, you and I can never relate. If you've never been through something, you're not going to understand the pain that's in my voice, that I'm coming to get everything that you've taken from me. I don't care what it is. It's mine. I want it. And the belief that you have to have by breaking down these limited beliefs, because each level, when you get to each particular level, every level I had to, that I'm climbing, or I've climbed, what has taught me is that I have to break my limited beliefs at each level. When I was told I wasn't smart enough, and my grades reflected it, my test scores reflected it, to get into college, I believed that they were right. I believed that I wasn't good enough. Now, all of a sudden, I was able to get in college. Not only did I do better in college than I did in high school and grade school and middle school, I excel beyond my imagination. And I said, what was different? See, what was different is, it wasn't that just because I just had a why, but I was doing this, like I said, for my mom. I was doing this not just for me. I had somebody that was pushing me to do it, because she would say, I remember when I went down to, shout out to GSU, Grambling State University. When I went down there, I enjoyed the experience. And when I got that call from my mother, and she said, hey, son, when you get home, we need to talk. And I never liked that. I never like when people do that to me. Tell me now, maybe I'm just alone on that. But so when I get home from it was the Christmas break or whatever, I got home. No, excuse me. I'm sorry. The semester had ended, and I was coming home. And so I put all my stuff in storage, because, I'm coming back next year. And I get home, and my mom was like, listen, I know that you took out some loans for school, but as far as like your day to day, I won't be able to help you like I've been helping you. There's some things that's going on that you're not aware of now, and I don't want to put that burden and pressure on you, because I know what you would do. You will just not find a way out of, you would just completely stop what you're doing and focus on the burdens and pressure. I don't want that on you right now, son. So, but I will be honest with you, I can't help you anymore. So if you go back to Grambling State University, I won't be able to assist you. And so I don't know what you're going to do financially, but I will tell you, though, I don't want you to give up of going back to school. And see, family, right then and there, I had to make a decision. And for me, I just didn't know what to do. I had everything there at school. I mean, I had sneakers, I had fans, I had bedding, I had a lot of stuff that I just kept it there in storage because I knew I was coming back. And unfortunately, I didn't get to go back. And I love Grambling. It was an amazing experience. So I had to come to a school that was closer to home. And long story short, it did work out. But what I'm saying, though, family, I had pain, because I had pain that I didn't understand why I couldn't go back. And still to this day, I never got an answer. What happened financially? What went wrong? Why couldn't she help me out anymore? Why couldn't I stay there at that school? So I understood that here is change. See, for me, a lot of people are uncomfortable with change, but see, I grew up on the move so much that change for me, it was just an everyday thing. Now, there are certain things, it's still uncomfortable with change. But what I realize is that I am a true disruptor, because change for me was really one of the foundations that made me comfortable when other people would, cower down as far as be quiet and all of these things. For me, I was speaking out because I truly knew that it's only a moment of time that I'm going to have in this space, and I'm going to get every ounce of it that I potentially can and enjoy it along the way. People get so stuck in where they're at that they lose focus, they lose determination of where they can go. I don't know if that's you, family, but it is. But I'm going to tell you something that I don't know if you may already know. It's just you have to break the limited beliefs about it. When you make a decision to stop operating out of desperation and start operating out of options, your life is going to be on a different path. I'll say that again. When you stop operating out of desperation and start operating out of options, your life is going to change for something different. I'm not going to lie and say you're not going to go through anything. That'll be a lie. I still go through things today, and I know it's not going to change anytime soon. But I embrace that. Yeah, it's frustrating. However, I understand the importance of making sure that you can find something that's bigger than you. You can do something that's larger than you. Like I said, when I started it off, I wasn't even thinking of doing anything around personal development. I love marketing. I like sales. I like business. I want to do that. But it just wasn't resonating to the mic. It wasn't flowing to the mic as well as me talking about the personal development journey that I'm on. Because I know there's somebody out there trying to make a decision on, hey, should I start a podcast? Or, hey, should I start a YouTube channel? Hey, should I create additional income on the side? And they need someone to inspire them, just like someone inspired me. Because when I listen to people, I have a actual list of people that inspire me. And when I see something that they say, like a quote or a phrase or something like that, or a video, I put it in my notes. And the reason why I do that is because for me, I can't speak for you, but when you find somebody that inspires you, lock in and just watch what they do. Don't be them, but understand them to a point where you can create your own lane. You see, when I got into this, I was wanting to sound like Eric Thomas, because to me, he inspired me on a level that I've never been inspired for on a personal development, because he looked like me. You see, most of the speakers at that time that I was following and watching, they didn't look like me. And so, I was like, I don't know if they understand my pain. But when Eric came into the scene, I was like, wow, he gets me. That's exactly what I been through. When I finally said I've had enough's enough, and I put my foot down and I said, and I put a plan in place, and it wasn't a really structured plan. It was, we need to cut some of these things out so we can get to where we go. And every time when I slip back into those old habits, and I do, because, most people won't tell you that. They'll tell you that they're just so great and holier than thou. No, when I slip back into those old habits, I see the results of the old habits. And then when I snap out of it and I start really doing the things that make me extremely uncomfortable, like waking up earlier than I want to, working out consistently without no breaks, and saying, and that self-talk that we have, like, you know what, nobody's going to know. I'm just going to sleep in today. So family, I'm going to close with this. You need to get to a point, as you know, my favorite motto, when you become sick and tired of being sick and tired, you take action. Stop trying to make it look perfect. because you won't get it perfect. What you need to do is work on consistency. What I need to do is work on consistency. What you have to do is break limited beliefs. What I have to do is break limited beliefs. See, you're always going to be a work in progress. If somebody says they got it all together, I mean run. I mean run as fast as you can, because eventually it's all going to come crashing down. So I challenge you to align. That's why I said, family, we are working on creating I want to create a society of individuals that want more for them than what people said that they could have. Getting around like-minded people to push ourselves, to hold us accountable, and things of that nature. So my goal, my vision that's one of my visions, is to bring like-minded people together. And I'm not looking for a whole bunch of people, millions of people. I'm looking, it may be just 100, it may be 1,000. I don't know. It's all depends on my calling of leading those people. But I really want the best. I really want everybody to win. And I sincerely mean that. With no further ado, I appreciate you taking the time to lock in with me today. You could have listened to anyone. You could have spent your time with anybody. I truly appreciate it. This is your boy ED. Until next time, peace.